This video is in stereoscopic 3D. You can change modes or switch to 2D in the player settings. If the video is playing wrong, click the first link in the description to watch with YouTube's Flash Player, which has even more 2D and 3D options. If you're on Mac or mobile, click the second link in the description to watch this video. Whoa. Okay. I'm not gonna go and say that I never did any special substances in my life, but I do find the prospect of doing something like LSD very high risk. So today we're gonna be doing the next closest thing together. We're gonna go and play Slime Rancher in virtual reality using VorpX. And things are about to get really weird in multiple ways. You're gonna understand as you see the video. So let's just dive right into it and go and simulate an LSD trip. I take my acid here by putting on my Rift. Now, this is Slime Rancher. What a weird special beast I have uncovered. I actually played this game, I'd say it was 3 weeks ago. I had a copy of an earlier alpha from the days they were in basically open free alpha. And I gave it a shot, and first thing I noticed is it was quite mesmerizing, actually. That's the first thing I'd say about this game. And it sort of stuck in my mind to the point where I recognized it on Steam. Saw a couple of streams about it, and I even got Eincrow a copy of this game so that he could play it on his stream. And it actually turned out to be a pretty good game for a stream because it's kind of casual in nature. So let's go take a look at this right away. And you're gonna notice that this is letterboxed VR. This is not actually full FOV VR. Mostly because I can't inject right now a command to go and deal with the FOV, but it does look like this game could have a profile adapted for it with either VorpX or even Tridef. Now I'm going to show you the option that I've preferred so far for this game. Now this fucks up the HUD, so I'm going to go ahead and close it so you can go ahead and take a look at what it looks like. But this is by all means not bad at all. This is reconstructive 3D, so basically it's using the 2D image to rebuild a 3D image with it. So it's kind of like Power 3D with Tridef, except I find it does a far better job. I'm in VR right now, which really does sort of force my head into the game view, and the depth feels correct. It's really weird. Sometimes I notice that artifacts can be a little hard on the eyes, like the edges of that tree over there, but even there, it's not as bad as if I were, say, using Power 3D to run a game in virtual reality. That probably would be very hard on the eyes. This is actually kind of easy on the eyes, I find. The downside compared to Power 3D is I find it looks a little bit cardboardy. The depth of things look a little bit like cardboard cutouts up until you walk near them. So let's go take a look here. This rock right now has a model depth, and as I get away from it, it's sort of going to become a cutout. And it's not happening because the object is far away from me. It's happening because the damn depth algorithm is actually making it seem totally flat. I'm going to show you why I'm going to stick to this option. Let's go, and word of warning, the HUD is going to be hard on the eyes here when I switch this option. I'm going to go from Z Adaptive to Geometry here. And Geometry has 3D depth, but there is little to none. In fact, I'll compare this to the 2D. You can barely see a difference. There is depth, I've actually checked it out. But look at how far my separation setting is, and I can't even get any depth out of that. So I'm better off using the Z normal value right now to run this game, as it seems to be able to figure out this game better than its own geometry 3D feature. And as you can see, I'm just running around here looking at terrain. It looks really good. At the end of the video, you will have a little treat. I will actually run this game with Tridef and show you what it looks like. Mostly because the output is true stereoscopic 3D in that case, and it looks kind of good. And I actually do want to highlight that. However, the game is one of these games where the gun is a sort of layer that is completely separate from the game world. Kind of like Portal 2 has. Portal 2 has the same problem. And this causes massive problems with stereoscopic 3D support, even in this mode. I can tell that anything I walk up to, very near foreground, is sort of fighting with the gun's bad depth. And you can probably tell on the video right now that the gun not only seems to be at a flat depth, but also at an incorrect depth. When I play this game with Tridef, you're actually gonna see this even more prominently. However, I'm noticing in the background right now that all the scenery is actually nearly proper stereoscopic 3D to the point where it's actually enjoyable. I'm not feeling eye strain right now. I'm not feeling like the scales are totally wrong. The scale of distant objects seems to be forced somewhat, but I can sort of live with that. There are two options. There's Z adaptive and Z normal. I find Z normal more comfortable, mostly because it doesn't readjust the depth as you're playing. It's actually a fixed setting, kind of like when I use fixed focus with Tridef. So this is actually really doing the game some good justice to an interesting degree. I mean, this is not proper VR by all means, but it's starting to get close to good support. And I'm using my pitch-locked mouse now, so if I move my mouse around up and down, my pitch does not vary. It's only my VR view that is in charge of my pitch. There doesn't appear to be mouse acceleration, or if there's any mouse acceleration, doesn't appear to be so intense that it's actually fighting with my head tracking, so that's a good thing. VorpX has this thing where it does like 3D vision. If there's no profile for a given game, it won't let you even start it in 3D. It won't even let you try options. You have to fool VorpX into thinking that this is a game it can support. Here's the trick. It's freaking annoying, but you gotta do it. So you open this very games folder. So you buy it on Steam, you install it, then you open this game's contents, and you go ahead and you rename the exe, which is originally slimerancher.exe, you rename that to udk.exe. Then you rename the data folder to udk_data. So I got a screenshot there that you can see. And once you've done that, obviously, if you try to launch udk.exe, Steam will tell you that it can't find the executable for the game. You must activate this exe as a non-Steam product on your Steam client. I'll show you how. You open the add game to Steam thingy. You can see it on the screenshot. And you select the non-Steam game option. Now, when that opens, you're going to be asked to select something from a list or to browse for a file. Browse for a file and locate that udk.exe that you just renamed. So that will now put an entry called udk.exe with the little icon for Slime Rancher in your Steam. We're almost there. We're not quite there yet, but we're almost there. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add a launch option on Steam to make this game work properly. So you go on your Steam, the udk.exe you just added to your Steam will be listed as udk. Right click on that and go Properties. In Properties, click the Set Launch Options button, and then you enter dash not underscore, dash, force D3, dash force dash D3 D9. And once you've done that, now we're all set. What you can do is you can go ahead and start VorpX and then run the game. I got my 3D strength at 1.5, depth weighing at 0.5 right now. I just recently changed it. I actually use image zoom 0.53. That's an important setting right there. I obviously have my mirror window right now working. Head sensitivity is at 0.4. It was way too strong by default. There's some extra settings here. And that's about it. I mean, that's all the settings you got. So that's how you make this game work. The problem, if you don't do the Force D3, D9 thing, the game will launch in DirectX 11 mode, and then VorpX will simply not be able to do any 3D reconstruction whatsoever. What I'd like to do is I'd like to encourage the developers of this game to make the gun part of the damn game world. Please, just make everything's perfect in this game, and it actually run in geometry 3D. Just the damn gun is not at the correct depth. Alright, gameplay. This game is incredibly simple, yet incredibly mesmerizing. You show up in here in this beautiful, fucked up, cartoon-looking like world that looks somewhat like an acid trip. But wait, we haven't gone full out on drugs yet. I haven't started sucking up slimes. There's a slime here. We're gonna use our gun thingy to suck up the slime. So what I'm gonna do is I'm basically hold my right mouse button, pull in a slime, and go and push these slimes into this sort of pen. And this is when you start out the game, you have this small pen, and you appear to be able to suck up slimes and put them in the pen. But what do you do with the slimes then? Well then, what you can do is you go around. I already have a few of these in my inventory, but let's go get some more. Finally find some fruit here. So I'm gonna suck up some fruit. Yes, suck up some fruit. Wait, it's gonna get worse later. And I'm actually gonna walk back here to my pen. Let's select the 2 key. I'm gonna feed these guys some fruit. You can actually see them eat and everything. Just feed them the fruit. Right. There they go, eating away. Oh. Now this guy wants to eat. Hang on. I'll get you some. There we go. Here's what happens when they eat. They actually shit these crystals. See that happen right there? These crystals are worth money. So yes, in essence, you have to farm slime shit by feeding slime and having them shit. So if you thought Ark had innovated on shit, think again. This game has innovated. Now, this gets interesting. You show up at the shit market where you can actually sell your shit. And the shit is actually a currency that changes value over time. There's multiple types of slimes, and thus multiple types of shits that they can take. And depending on the shit they take, well, their currency value is different. So I guess I got $9 or whatever they are for each pink plort. So let's go ahead and just fire these pink plorts into this thingy here. And I am getting money. I cannot see how much I have on the HUD right now. One of the wonderful problems of third-party VR is to actually get a HUD that you can read, but I'm just gonna basically go blind on it. I'm not too worried about that. The reason why there's so many crystals or plorts here is because these guys have been eating everything and shitting all over the place. So I'm just gonna clean out their shit and get myself some free money here. It's another quick way to get rich at the beginning. Oh shit, no, they're gonna want to eat the carrots. No, 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 get the fuck out of here, you fucking slimes. Alright. No, 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 get the fuck. Damn it. They're eating all the carrots. Fuckers. Alright, so to what I was saying is I approached it with a skeptical eye. It's like, okay, a free run, why not, you know? What surprised me is that even with only Whoa. Never seen these guys before. Only with, I would say, 75 to 80% functional stereoscopic 3D, I was already mesmerized enough to play for an hour. So, right off the bat, it was like, God damn it, they got this acid trip style to this game. Like I said in the beginning, you know, that joke on doing drugs. Oh shit, what is this? I'm getting rid of this hen right now. Fuck this hen. Take this. Woo! A gold plort. I never saw one of those before. Alright, so let's take these guys back home. Got myself a good farm full of pink slimes. And, well, that's pretty much the object of the game. With the money, we're gonna go take a look at what you can do with the money. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump my slimes. And you're gonna get to see the problems of having a lot of slimes, and then the solutions you can try to resolve. Now, these slimes are gonna stack up, and whenever they see food anywhere nearby, they're actually going to try to climb over this and go get the food. One of the tricks you can do to break up their stacks is sort of just toss them around with your gun like this. It's slime abuse. Oh shit! Get the fuck back in there. So you can just use your gun to abuse them and beat them around. Or you can actually upgrade the pen with the money you got. So let's go see what we're gonna get for a gold plort. Holy shit, that's at the top of the list. Christ, it just gave me like... Whoops. What did I just do? Wrong key. Christ, it just gave me 310, just like that. That's fucking cool. Alright then, let's go buy an upgrade. So, with this, I can buy upgrades. Let's go see the upgrades we got. I could actually get high walls for these guys. I could get an air net to block them from exiting. There's a whole bunch of other shit you can get, but let's just... What is the music box? The music box plays a soothing tune that greatly reduces slime agitation. That's funny. Let's just start with the high walls here, so you can actually see what they look like. I'm just gonna readjust my pitch. Sort of screwed it up myself there. And there you go. You got yourselves some high walls. So now they can't jump out anymore. But I'll show you. I can actually get them really agitated by putting a whole shit ton in there and not feeding them. In fact, speaking of feeding, why don't I give them this? So they're gonna shit their crystals. I can actually leave them there. What I think is happening with the reconstruction is that the gun is sort of stopping the depth short from continuing all the way to the tip of my nose, which is what VR can actually do. Your stereoscopic 3D doesn't really ever pop out. It just reaches the tip of your nose, potentially. This game is not going there. It's actually stopping about 2 feet away from my face. That's good. So you're gonna see a whole bunch of different slimes here. There's this funny cat head thingy there. There's also the giant cat head thingies. Let's pick it up. Let's actually bring it home. So what I do now is I hold my right mouse button while carrying this guy. It's probably a bit of an eyesore because he's in the foreground. I can actually, this is pretty good for a reconstruction. I can actually make out the cat's mouth very close to me. And I can actually make out the background being very far. So that's, I don't know how that's happening with the layering and everything, but it's happening. There we go. Carry myself a big cat in here. And look. Now when you got the big guys around, the high walls start to be insufficient. You saw the bounce it did when it went in there. It could actually cause me some problems. So let's give them some carrots. Let's have them shit. Now, I don't think it's a problem putting these guys together. I hope not. Because I know that some little critters, if they like, if some slimes eat the wrong plorts, they can actually turn into the enemy. I forget which you combine with which. Kind of like the gremlins, you don't feed them after midnight or some bullshit like that. There we go, the depth. I'm losing the depth here because there's too many slimes around me way nearby. There we go. Oh, I even got my pogo fruit here, so I can actually make them... Make me a whole bunch of cash. Yes, make me rich, bitches. Oh, look, he was all happy. I'm out. Sorry. Here. Oh. Here we go. Here we go. Come here. Come here. Hey. Eat. Did you eat? Oh, there. Oh, is he? Oh, is he? Yay! You ate. And he pooped. Go. Now what I'm doing right now is, it's kind of hard when you don't have a plort collector, that thing that collects the crystals, to pick up your crystals without picking up slime in the process, so I just let it happen. Just shoot these guys back in here. Whoops. It's all good. And I shall go deposit my plorts. So, basically it's a farming game. I mean, literally, you're just farming. That's all you're doing. It's that simple. It's, oh, 24. Cool. Nice. That's a nice. Well, let's see what I could actually get for these guys. Do I have enough money for... Yeah! See, this is how you know how much money you have. You just try to buy stuff, and if it doesn't let you, it's because you don't have enough. Oh, well, that's cool. So now I will no longer have to go and suck up the little slime balls while trying to collect my plorts, because this thing will try to do it for me. Let's make the farm larger. See, this is what happens when you start playing this game. You play it without any expectations, and you're just like, I'm just going about my thing. Oh, the cat thing's out. I can get it back anytime. All good. It can actually go further away. But you see what's happening here, right? You see what's happening. They get out, they stack and they get out, and then they start bouncing around, and you're like, fuck, come back. There we go, and that's, oh shit, it actually did manage to collect all the goddamn things. It just fucking took 3 years to do it. Nice. Oh, isn't that cool? There we go. Oh. Left a couple there. Oh, let's come back here. I'm rich, bitch! Alright, so... Oh, that's a good collect. Alright, and this is what happens. You just start sort of getting into the motion of the game, and then you forget how long it's been that you've been playing, and then you realize you're actually having fun. Now, I'll give you a downside of that. Ein Crow was actually playing this on his stream, and played it quite a while, actually. He had clocked, I think, 3 hours after his first stream. I don't know if he did another one, but now he's up to 8.5 hours, and here's where there's a problem. There's a sort of state you reach where there's not enough to do anymore. And this is where I'll sort of share my opinion on that, on what this game could do to resolve that, and down the line be a much more expanded experience. Well, what this game is trying to do is go for the continuous route, where you basically start a game, you just keep farming things until you get richer and buy more upgrades and continue farming stuff. And I'll show you some other features later on that are actually pretty funny. Or a garden. I'm gonna get a coop, mostly because I have a fucking hen right now I'm gonna get rid of, and maybe it can make itself useful. I don't know if everything happens automatically there, but I do think I need to get chickens. Get the fuck back in there. I'll eventually get something for these guys. Oh shit, look at this. I forgot about this guy. Right. And there's here. Here. Oh, look at these guys. Holy shit. just stacking up to go get the carrot. Look at this. Yeah, they are food detectors, so that'll help. So what I like now is that I got a fucking coop, so whatever eats chickens will now eat chickens. I had a suggestion when the rooster copulates with the chickens. You want to keep it kid-friendly, but do it like Shadow Warrior. So basically, instead of having a humping animation, you just have the two stand next to each other with little floaty hearts coming off of them. So I sort of interrupted my own train of thought there, and I was about to talk about what you could do to make this game longer and more expanded. There's a game I really liked on my Nintendo 3DS back in 2012, 2013. That is called Dylan's Rolling Western. A lot of you may actually know this game, especially if you own a 3DS. It was on a few giveaways with Nintendo clubs. Probably one of the best giveaways I've seen in terms of game titles with Nintendo clubs. Fairly expensive to buy it, so when I saw it for free, it was like, holy shit. I had enough points for it and everything, so I got it. And it was a lot of fun to play, and it makes me think a lot of this game in terms of art style and a little bit in terms of its theme. Now, it's the theme of ranching, basically, but this is... a Slime Rancher would be more hands-on with the ranching than Dylan's Rolling Western was, whereas this game is less on the defense of your ranch as much as Dylan's Rolling Western was. Dylan's Rolling Western is really a sort of ranch defense game more than a ranching game. What you do during the daytime, collect food for the sheep that are sort of kept in the city where you're defending, and during nighttime you have to fend off the rock monsters so that they don't go and invade the city and kill their sheep, and thus after that they can't have food anymore. So it resembles a lot that theme, but over here I find, even though they did put adversity to collecting slimes and hoarding them and making them produce cash, I find it's a lot easy actually to get wound up and have so many slimes that you're just always rich. You're just basically always dominant, even though there is adversity in the game. Now there's something you can do where you basically feed a large slime, or a tabby I think they're called, or something like that. You feed them the wrong plort, then they become one of the bad guys. The bad guys would be tars. Oh shit, they ate the chickens the second they spawned. You fuckers. Let me get these guys out of here. Fuckers. I want those chickens. So, I just want to make sure, yeah. I thought I heard the chime on my camcorder. It normally doesn't do it. Anyways, but what they could do with this game, first off, is make the ranching way more difficult. How could they do that? Well, they could have something where at night you have to stop ranching and you need to defend your ranch. Another thing they could do is force you to have to shoot plorts to defend yourself, which would make collecting plorts a little longer. And there should be a sort of type of baddie that shows up at night, sort of at the far ends of the map, and sort of slowly but surely come towards your ranch. And then every night, they would do this faster and faster. And eventually it would get really difficult to just be able to keep your slimes. And if said baddies should invade your ranch, well, it looks like they already have this mechanic down with the tars. But what they'll do is they'll kill your slimes. And then you gotta start over, right? So, right now, things like that can sort of happen, but they're too easy to deal with, in my opinion. I mean, the game even despawns the baddies at some point. It's just like, okay, we're done with the bad guys. Here you go. Play your game. We're gonna just despawn them. That, maybe in the day and night cycle, I'm okay with that, but there should be a sort of guarantee that if you don't somehow defend or plan a strategy for each night, there should be a sort of certainty that you will get raided by them. So that would be my suggestion. And then to add to that, Dylan's Rolling Western sort of took this ranch idea where you have to gather things and just build upon it and make levels. Now I know that I can actually open other ranches here with some money. I can actually expand my ranch. It's a good starter, but there should be completely different maps that sort of become another level, where the slimes are completely different, the mechanics change a little, and that would basically spell a clean slate. Every time you progress to another level, it not only gets more difficult, but goes to a clean slate. And I would make these things last, what, 5 game days? 5 in-game day-night cycles? And then you basically start fresh from there. Oh, the light guys. Oh shit, there's blue pistols here. Blue shit. I gotta be careful. These guys hurt when you try to pick them up. I'm trying to keep an eye on my health there. And they also sometimes get excited like that and just fucking bump into you. So you gotta be careful when you're around these guys. Oh, there we go. Alright. Oh shit, I hear the battle music. So there's a tar right there. He probably was generated by something that happened. Just pick up these fruit. Stay away from those things. They didn't actually see. I even see their edge. Oh shit, there's one right there. So I want to be very careful here getting close to these things. I don't know what the rocks on the ground are doing with the... Oh shit, the same texture as them. I want to get the fuck out of here. This is getting dangerous. So this is the example of an enemy in this game, and you know what? It's a good one. It looks cool too. Look at it from here, where I'm sort of relatively safe. I do not want to stick around here too long because they're gonna actually propagate if I do. Really want to get the hell out of here. But those guys actually are already programmed in a way to be really good at adversity. They just need a sort of strategy, and they actually make me think of the damn rock monsters in Dylan's Rolling Western. So what Einkrone encountered, the problem where after about 6 hours you sort of reach an end game that is very passive, right? Nothing special happens, just like, okay, I'm bored, time to move on to another game. I find that highly unfortunate because it gets off to such a great start, being mesmerizing, keeping you busy, keeping you doing just a little tedium of going back to here and then going back to there, dumping some food in, all that shit. It's like all that work. It's unfortunate to have it sort of end short like that, you know, sort of shortchanging. See, unlike Ark is all about the size of the content. The problem is Ark's mechanics are becoming all fucked right now because all they think about is fucking content. They keep adding fucking creatures in a system that's otherwise becoming more and more broken. So even though you have all these fucking creatures and everything, eventually the game screws you over because it doesn't work properly. A game like this is taking it from the other end. It's not about content, it's about the mechanics fucking working. And this is where it will get you and also fall short. It will get you. It'll get you going for hours. Just using its mechanics because they work so damn well. But then, you'll be like, I got nothing else to do. And it's sad that it's so hard to find a good balance between the two, between good mechanics and a good degree of amount of content. But, well, you gotta do what you gotta do. In early access, you go from one end or the other. Personally, my preferred approach is to go with the mechanics first, get them completely down, and then expand your content. And I hope that's the approach they're taking, and that's why the game's a little short right now for what you can do. I mean, there's no end game really. You can do whatever you want, but you will run out of things to do. There we go. Put another chick in there. I think I did. Look at these faces. Look, I mean, I'm gonna wake these guys up a little bit. Come on, wake up, wake up. Hey, hey, wake up, wake up. Look at these little faces. They're always smiling like they're freaking acid. The placement of their eyes just says, hey, fucking high as fuck. Look at the cat. Cat's always fucking just happy. Look, we're not bumping around. He's gonna be happy anyways. Oh, so this guy ate this guy's shit and became, because he was a small slime before and he became a big slime, I think. So I'm already doing that, it looks like. I want to crawl. And I think what I want to do here, because it's daytime, these things will disappear. What I'm going to do is very quickly eat. Oh, do they not? Oh shit. When did they eat? I can't fucking read it. Okay, get the fuck back. I think they eat the fruit. Or the chickens. Not sure which. But here, have carrots. Have them. So as I may collect quartz. There we go. Are you gonna, I guess, collect 2 types of quartz for these things? So you can probably see the version number, by the way, on my game view. It's a little annoying that they do that, but, well, at least you know it's early access. It says it right there on the fucking screen. So these guys eat meat. Check this out. This is funny. Which one's got the blood on his lips? They get blood on their lips. It's already gone. So yeah, when they eat, you can actually see blood on their lips and on their face. Sorry, I had to shake my mouse. It's sort of stuck on the table. Come on, get the damn quartz. And you, get the fuck back in there. And then I go 2. Do you fruit? Yes! There you go. You. Yeah. Uh-oh. Okay. I didn't expect to do that, but that happened. Okay, my nickname for the small and big guys here that you see is Flying Fucks. I have 17 Flying Fucks to give in my gun right now. And I apparently have now 2 Flying Fucks. Oh, Christ. I only have 1 Flying Fuck now, and now I have no more Flying Fucks. I didn't realize the big ones would disappear during the day. So Flying Fucks can actually fly over your gate, and you need a freaking air net to preserve them, and they disappear during the day. So that's something you have to know. If you want to keep them, you gotta suck them in your gun. There's another thing you can do. You can suck cock in this game. That's another thing you can very absolutely well do, is sucking cock. You can suck the cock. And this is literally, I'm gonna credit Eincro for saying all this because he said it so properly. I only asked him to say, suck cock. No, what I said is, refer to it as a cock, not a rooster. And he said, I'm going to suck the cock. I'm going to swallow the cock. And now I will spit the cock. Ew. Alright, enough innuendo, but that is what it is. You have made a game and delivered it on the internet. We are allowed to do this by default. That is how it works. Even if we have to pay to get your game. Especially if we have to pay to get your game. I am enjoying this. The VR support really isn't that good at all. I mean, my field of view is cropped. My depth is messed up in the foreground. But, look far, it's persuasive. I like the land. Like how this is all done. So the map is actually pretty big. It's no Ark, Survival Evolved, but I think that's the intention to eventually get. So I feel judder here. I think the game's tanking a little. So it's no Ark Survival Evolved, but it could get close to it actually because it's already pretty expansive. For a game that is much more simplistic than Ark, this is a pretty big map. This is a funny guy here sleeping. What is now? Hey, the mushroom's depth remains when I'm near them. That's appreciated. See, this rock face here looks legit. All this shit looks legit from here. Wow. Don't color me surprised. Hi there. Do you eat? Yes, you do. And do you shit something? fuck you. So I need to actually, I guess, see the UI. Wait, this? No. Yeah. The view is great. The stereo is actually surprisingly legit for something that's a reconstruction. The VR is pleasant. The gun is annoying as fuck, but I forget about it after 5 minutes of play. I'm looking at where I'm going. I'm looking at what I'm doing. Not really minding the gun too much. So now, does this work? Yes. Oh, neat. Stupid. Right. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. Come on, eat. Stupid. Come on, eat, stupid. Nice collect. Right. How many times over can I do this? See, this is what happens. You just fucking start getting lost in this fucking crazy ass game. Guys. At the same time, let them make their crystals. Hey. Especially the one that are disappearing. So I'm trying to recollect them as quickly as possible. Alright, hey. Leave the rest of my food to these guys. I don't mind making some lords there for a little while. I'll simply go. Oh shit! No, wait. What I wanted to do here was this. These guys just created. Come on, get the fucking gun. There. So now what will happen is this guy will go and make sweet love to the hands, and then I'll be able to feed hands to these little guys here. These little stupid cats. Look at them. Is this thing not high as a fucking kite? This thing is completely on drugs. Check this out. I have just purchased myself a Cocklamp. If anyone's ever seen the series Todd and the Book of Pure Evil, you know what the term shit rooster means, and you also know where the term cocklamp comes from.
Tell me, do you just take random obscenities and pair them up with equally random nouns? Cocklamp?
Dickbag.
Jizz trap.
Ass taxi?
Dick mitten.
Douche cake.
Douche lords.
Penis hole?
Shit nugget.
Shit nuggets.
Dork wad.
Bum rod.
Bum rod.
Jock tard.
Jock tard.
Douche wad.
Fuck peeps.
Fuck tard.
Fuck no.
Jizz magicians. Because they make jizz disappear.
Well, I have just purchased my first cock. It is a lamp for cocks. I am lighting my cocks so that I may suck the cocks, swallow them, and then spit them at slime. God, do they realize what kind of innuendo generator they've created here, or are they just really innocent? No, it can't be. Alright folks, it's time for the traditional stereoscopic 3D portion of this video. We're gonna take a look at the same game, this time with Tridef Ignition. So right off the bat, you can probably see that on the title screen. The 3D is looking awesome, and this is actually genuine stereoscopic 3D. I gotta make a note on how to get it to work. This is much easier than what we did with VorpX. All you gotta do is you have your Steam created desktop shortcut for this game. You drag said shortcut into Tridef, and you pick the generic profile. And the next thing you're going to want to do is very similar to what we did for the other setup, which is to force the DirectX 9 option. So what you do is you right-click on the game in Steam, you go Properties, then you go Set Launch Options, and in there you write -force-D3D9, hit OK, and then you can actually launch the game. It's going to enforce DirectX 9, which allows a true geometric stereoscopic 3D to work, and will allow Tridef to work with it. So the next thing you want to do, you're going to be able to start the game, and you're actually going to notice that right off the bat, it may actually start with Power 3D to on. You're going to want to turn that off, as I have it right now, and then you're actually going to go in the 3D options and just adjust the depth to what you want. As you notice, I like to use a custom focus in my games, so I got that going on for me right there. Near plane 80 for plane 100, and I like to have strong depth and bring everything up to about screen level in the foreground, maybe a little more, so some things can actually escape your window. So I got my scene depth at 60 and my percent in front at 75. Now let's get into the game. So here's where we see that there's unfortunately, goddamn game, you look so good. Why do you have to have such a problem? The gun is just, it's literally, it's freaking dissident, this gun. It's stereoscopically dissident. It wants to go through the scenery, it's at the wrong depth, it's all like one layer. Portal 2 has the exact same problem with stereo 3D tools. The gun always wants to do that. You gotta fuck about with it until you get it right. And what pains me here is that things look so damn good. This is true stereoscopic 3D. This is not like the VR you just saw me run. This is actually a pair of cameras looking at the game world. This, by all means, looks absolutely awesome. And I mean, all you gotta do is just don't look at the freaking gun. I'm gonna ask all of you to please don't look at the gun and notice how everything else is so good. Well, if you're watching this video in 2D, I mean, this is all about the 3D right now, so there's not gonna be anything obvious about it, but if you're watching it in 3D, you're seeing the problem. Just look away from it, because look at this scenery. Look at all this. This is perfect. This is, if I could combine this stereoscopic 3D depth with the VR version I just played, and god damn it, VorpX, make us a profile so we can play with this. I mean, this is by all means legit 3D. Pisses me off when these things happen. And to the developers, bloody hell, make that gun part of the game world already. Just put the freaking actual gun model under the camera. Stop with this layering crap. And here's what's funny. Let's go see the Tors or the Tars or whatever they're fucking called. The bad guys there that we saw earlier in VR. Really hoping to come across some of those guys right now. Because originally, when I played the alpha of this game about 3 weeks ago, there was a huge stereoscopic problem with the shader on the Tars. They were screen depth. All of them were screen depth. So you can be in VR, it was horrible because you couldn't, like, you'd have the tar sort of layered above the whole scenery. Oh shit, what was that? It was like a shooting streak. Yeah, look at that. It was like a wind streak and it's fully stereoscopic. That's awesome. Anyways, but they were like all screen depth in stereoscopic 3D, and I think the VR was doing the same problem even with the reconstruction. So it was unplayable, and I noticed that they actually went ahead and fixed that in the one I bought on Steam now. So if they're trying to make things work in proper stereoscopic 3D, does that mean they're planning a VR version? Look, I'm just saying, I don't want to start any false rumors here, but they have fixed something that was specifically not working in stereoscopic 3D. I don't know if it's because they were having another problem with the shader that was conflicting with another part of their game, but it's looking like they might actually be trying to prepare for true stereoscopic 3D to be supported so that they can implement VR. Just saying. Just really, I don't want to start any rumors, but I think it's a strong possibility. I don't know. I really like to see a game working like this in 3D so easily, just by putting the generic Tridef profile. I'm really pained by this stupid ass gun. That's all they gotta fix. The gun, that's it. And then they're VR ready, they're 3D ready. This is beautiful. This is absolutely enjoyable. I would play this for hours in 3D. I would play this for hours in VR. Make it happen. Make it happen, guys, because this is really cool. Anyways, I was looking for TARs. I was hoping to be able to show you one and show you that they are in beautiful, glorious stereoscopic 3D without any issues now. Unfortunately, it looks like they're not invited to the party yet. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe I just haven't waited long enough, because these guys seem to materialize rather easily. I mean, you saw some earlier in VR. Their stereo was okay, but I wish I could have shown you a couple here. Anyway, so, see, this is what I like now when I'm doing some near-field shit. Like these guys, they're coming in very close and they preserve their depth. That was not happening in VR with the reconstruction, but it does happen with true stereoscopic 3D. So it's really, I'm like about 93% sure that this gun is responsible for the issues with the VR, where it's sort of like the depth stops here and then it becomes a screen. Like it sort of transitioned into something flat that's about 3 feet away from your face. Aside from that, depth extremely similar in both cases. From what I remember seeing in VR, this is looking pretty much the same in true stereoscopic 3D, just obviously with much more detail because I'm playing on a screen right now, where it's just all basically nicely squeezed into that nice 2x 1080p image. What a beautiful sight. What a beautiful sight. What a shame, this gun. So I really hope that maybe this gets seen by the developers. Probably gonna want to share it. Anyone who wants to see VR happen in this game, hey, go ahead and share this video with them on their forum. I'll look to do it later. I'll see how people respond to the video, how good it is and everything once it's produced. But there we go. Look at all this. Alright, I almost forgot to do this part. This is actually pretty important to get this working with Tridef and maybe even with VR. I did not play with the shadows after turning them off. I left them off for both tests, so I'm not 100% sure. What I do know is that if your shadows are on anything but none, so low, medium, high, they will render at screen depth and they won't look good. So you want to go ahead and set those to none. For the rest, play with it to get your preferred performance level, obviously, because you can see that this game is demanding a little bit running in 3D like this. Have the ambient occlusion on, mostly because I have the shadows off. I could actually have the ambient occlusion off, as it doesn't, like you see, it puts shadows along the edges, so it sort of replaces the lack of shadows, I find. And the bloom I have off just because I find it's too much. It's just too intense. But that's about it. Shadows should not be on, otherwise you're gonna basically get a lot of eyesores. But aside from that, everything looks legit, and you can play the game like this. So that's it. That was Slime Rancher. A big surprise. Not that much of an expensive purchase. It is presently in early access, and I have mentioned the game's limitations in terms of content. But you do have a good few hours of something to play with if you buy this right now. Would I buy this specifically for VR? No. Maybe not even with 3D. Look, you gotta really like stereoscopic 3D to play with a gun that's like that, and you gotta fucking get used to not looking at it. So if you really like stereoscopic 3D and really like what this looked like and you could look past the gun issue, then I recommend this game. If you really like VR and you like things in which you get lost in and you can actually stomach different degrees of third-party VR support that are not ideal, then yes, I would also go ahead and recommend this game. However, it's not that easy to take. Like, I mean, if you're a VR noob, it might be hard on your eyes. So I'm just saying, it's not an ideal pick, but in my opinion, this is something I'll want to replay again in VR. I played in 3D, but VR always supersedes. So that's how it happens. Alright folks, so thanks for watching Stereo 3D Productions. This was quite a unique pick, I find. All these fucked up acid colors. So, that's it. I hope you don't get any flashbacks from this video, and I shall see you next time.